Hey, it's Meatball.
And Mark.
And this is the Rocker Morning Show on demand from 107.7 RKR. 107.7 RKR, it is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing, man?
I am great.
Awesome.
I am, I'm barely here.
Yeah, I can tell.
That obvious, huh?
Well, no, not that obvious, but I could tell yesterday that you were like, I'm going to go stand in water for an hour. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. So next week I'm going on vacation. We're doing our family trip, my folks and my brother and my cousin is coming with us this time. We're going down to Destin, Florida and hang out. And I've been looking at the long-term forecast, to know like what the prep for and stuff. Like there's a couple of days for thunderstorms and rain, but for the most part, like the highs are going to all be in like the mid 80s. The lows are going to be in like the mid 70s.
Nice.
Like, dude, my vacation brain is already turned on. Like I'm ready to go.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And the trip is nice too. Cause like I don't fly. My brother has his Prius, so we save a ton on gas.
Nice.
I drive down to meet him in Cincinnati and then he drives, we leave at like, I don't know, midnight, 2 a.m. or something like that, Saturday morning and then drive straight through. Cause he's one of those like, road warriors, which we grew up that way. That's our dad was like, get in the car, we're going, and we're not stopping until we get there. Here's a bucket, that kind of thing.
Wow.
Wasn't that bad. But like we grew up that way, so it's like that mentality of like you stay in the car and you just go until you're there. So my brother is going to be driving. And I'm sure he'll have like some audiobook on or something like that, like he usually does. I'm bringing my Nintendo Switch and my headphones and neck pillow, and I'm just going to like chill in the passenger seat for 12 hours. We're going to get down there. He's going to be tired, and we're going to go right to the bar, and I'm going to order drinks right there and there, man. I'm so ready.
I understand that, though, because we went to Florida a lot as kids, and my parents, they just swapped driving. Like they were just like, nope, we're getting there. So yeah, it's pretty funny experience traveling through that part of the country, getting into Florida.
Well, we used to do family road trips too, where like we would go, we would build this family vacation that's like 2.5 weeks long around dad going to the national bowling tournaments, basically. So like we'd spend this time just going to see all these cool touristy things on the way out there and then on the way back and stuff. And I remember one trip where like we literally drove out to Reno, Nevada and then back in this giant like Ford Econoline Universal van.
Yeah.
That had like the TV in it and everything.
Yep.
So like, me and my brother basically had a living room to play around with in the back of the van. And then mom and dad were stuck up in the front.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my folks had a Ford Eclipse that was like that.
Yeah, man.
The big gray beater.
I'll tell you what, one of the biggest revelations we ever made with those vans with the TVs, we figured out that the TV had an auxiliary input in the back. And I was like, hey, our Nintendo Entertainment System has those same cords.
Yep.
We hooked up the Nintendo to the TV in the van. I think that was, that was great for me and my brother. I think that might have been more of a blessing for my parents.
Yeah.
Because they're just like,
oh, thank God it worked.
Literally, our children are just set it and forget it. 107.7 RKR, it is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
Well, if you saw the post yesterday on the 107.7 RKR app and at WRKR.com, Homer Stryker Field is now Homer Stryker Lake. The Kalamazoo River came up during the flood warnings over the last, we've had, just incredible amounts of rain.
Right.
Over the last few days, last week, really. And it has brought the levels up on the Kalamazoo River enough that Homer Stryker Field is flooded. They got the alert very early yesterday morning, as far as I understand. And gone out there and did their best to get everything kind of situated and ready. But you can't play baseball when the water's knee high out there. So they did make an announcement yesterday. They were supposed to play a doubleheader yesterday and another game today against the Kokomo Jackrabbits. And one of those games was actually supposed to be a makeup anyway. So due to the extreme flooding, Tuesday's doubleheader and Wednesday's game between the Kalamazoo Growlers and the Kokomo Jackrabbits has been postponed. Growlers are headed to Kokomo today to play the originally scheduled doubleheader that was supposed to be yesterday. Game 1 at 4:35, This is the back end of a makeup game from before. So they start it in the 4th inning. And then game 2 is going to begin about 30 minutes after that, but no earlier than 7:05. Wednesday's original game that was supposed to be played today has been moved to August 9th, and they're going to play it as a doubleheader at Kokomo, and they'll just switch home and away for that one as well. So you can get those details again on the 107.7 RKR app about those games. And let me just tell you, I've known about Homer Stryker Field being in the floodplain there for the Kalamazoo River. And I've seen some of the photos before, but seeing it in person is pretty impressive, man.
It's pretty wild when you really see how you can like canoe in the outfield.
Yeah. I mean, there were people that were like, should we break out the kayaks? Like, how do we do this? You know, one of the players actually, because they showed up like they were going to have a normal, day and game and everything, because they don't know anything until they get the announcements, One of the guys showed up. He goes, well, I guess we're playing a doubleheader today. You ready? And I was like, you guys got water wings or something?
Yeah,
How are you doing this? I mean, the water was like knee high when you got down in it. Like when we were walking past like the dugouts, like it was like at the bottom of my shorts and everything in my knee.
That's wild.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But I got some cool photos as a gallery up of the field being flooded there. On the Rocker app.
I still can't believe you walked out into that water, man.
It's just river. It's just river water, man.
Did we not teach you, like right away when you moved here, do not go in the Kalamazoo River?
You know what? I showered like 3 or 4 times when I got home, so I'm sure I'm fine. But side note, should my bones be itching?
It's time to turn up your dials and tune out the traffic because we're playing the Daily 5 on the Rocker Morning Show. Testing the mental magnitude of your favorite morning monkeys on the radio. And now, your hosts for the Daily 5, Meatball and Mark Frank House.
It is the Daily 5 where Mark can ask each other questions. The other one answers. Today, I'm asking the questions. Mark is answering. And Mark, you have help on the line today from Amy. Good morning, Amy. How are you?
Good morning. Good. How are you?
We are great. You got to help me get 3 out of 5 questions correct. If you do, we'll go up 2-1 for the week. If not, Meatball will go up 2-1 for the week.
And I need it. So, I got some fun questions for you.
Yeah, this is going to be tricky today, Amy. I don't like that laugh at all.
Oh, you'll be fine.
That means Meatball's up to his goofy ass tricks.
Question number 1. This is language. In the English language, which letter is used the most and appears on average once every 8 letters? Is it the letter S?
It's E. Oh, sorry, I didn't know there was options.
No, you're good.
Sorry.
I mean, I don't have to give you the options if you don't want them.
Let's go.
Is it the letter S, the letter I, or the letter E?
Letter E. Final answer. Amy's all over it. Amy knows it. I'm not even questioning Amy. She knew it. E. Final answer.
It is E.
Wow. Okay. The atmosphere just shifted.
I thought you guys knew weird facts.
I'm feeling good.
Off to a great start. All right. This one is sports. Who is considered to be the first victim of the Madden curse by appearing on the cover of the NFL video game? Is it Eddie George, Barry Sanders, or Dante Culpepper?
And can we...
I don't know. I did know this.
What?
I don't remember. I had this whole conversation with my boyfriend. I can't remember what it is.
Oh, man. Can we have a reminder of what the Madden curse is?
So the Madden curse is that you have an incredible year. Your team either wins the Super Bowl or you have a deep run. Like you just have an incredible season, usually an MVP.
Yeah.
You're on the cover of Madden. And then the next year, you either have a terrible season, you're injured, or you're forced to retire.
Gotcha.
So that happens far more often, I think, than it should.
And who was the first one?
So the 3 names here are Eddie George, Barry Sanders, or Dante Culpepper.
Gotcha. I can't remember Barry Sanders ever being on Madden, but I think it's Dante Culpepper.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, let's go with Dante Culpepper since we're both thinking that final answer.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, Barry Sanders was on one of the anniversary editions recently, like 2023, I think was when he was on. So it wasn't Barry. And unfortunately for you, it was not Dante Culpepper. It was the very first player to appear on the cover, Eddie George. He ran for more than 1,500 yards in his cover season and then never averaged more than 3.5 yards a carry after that.
Ouch.
Developed a really bad fumbling problem.
That's bad.
Yeah, poor Eddie George. All right, question number 3. This is travel. The U.S. has an official travel slogan. What is it? Is it all within your reach? A brave new world awaits. Or it will red, white, and blow your mind.
My first thought was that all within the reach.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that red, white, and blue your mind. Give me a freaking break.
It's creative, you know? We have creative minds in this country.
Yes. I think a guy named Meatball came up with that one. Very creative. All within your reach. Amy, you're feeling it?
Yep.
Me too. Let's go all within your reach. Final answer, Meatball.
All within your reach. Final answer. That's correct. Although I want to talk to them about it will red, white, and blow your mind. I think that's pretty good.
Awesome.
All right, question number 4. This is art.
Okay.
Picasso would often include images of what instrument in his paintings?
A Picasso.
Is it horns, like trumpets or horns or whatever, drums, or guitars?
Picasso. I'm trying to think. Drums, horns, or guitars?
Correct.
There's one picture in my mind, and I can't remember if it's Picasso, Amy, but it's this like weird, goofy figure, and I feel like it's playing a guitar. Gosh.
Maybe. I was thinking a horn, but I don't know that the painting that I'm thinking was Picasso.
Gotcha. Yeah, for some, and maybe I'm, the worst thing about this is I was like, I have this image in my head, and I'm like, God, am I thinking of a completely different artist? So I don't know. What do you think we should go with?
I'll go with the guitar. Yeah, the guitar sounds good.
Let's go with guitar. Final answer.
Guitar. Final answer. You are now up to.
Yeah, Amy. Way to go.
Awesome.
Man, Amy, you led me to the promised land off that first question. You really set the tone for us. And way to help me get that dub. And you are getting that dub, too, because you got 2 tickets to see Theory of a Dead Man, Third Eye Blind at the Allegan County Fair this year. Way to go.
Awesome. I needed that.
Man,
Thank you.
So did I. Thank you. Oh, my gosh.
I did not need that, no, but that's fine. 107.7 RKR, it is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
All right, Mark, we got to give away qualifying spot for our Rocker Rides, a chance to win a 2024 Ford F-150 2-year lease. And
a 224 Chevy Silverado. What are you talking about?
I think people are going to choose the Ford, Mark.
I don't think that's your prerogative to sway people one way or the other. Meatball.
I mean, why would you pick that over the Ford? That just doesn't make any sense.
It's a big bad boy. What are you talking about?
Our friends at Tapper, it's fine. It's a competition. I'm convinced somebody's going to pick the Ford. Mark's convinced somebody's picking the Chevy. So we've got kind of like a little internal contest, I guess, going on with that. But the big contest here is that somebody is going to be walking away with basically a brand new vehicle in their garage, Mark.
Yes, this is huge. A 2024 Ford F-150
yes.
or a 2024 Chevy Silverado, a 2-year lease. Tapper Automotive in Paw Paw, they're financing the whole thing for you. That's like a $16,000 value. You're not going to have to worry about car issues for the next 2 years. They're going to put you in one of these brand spanking new vehicles, and we want to get you in there. So we're going to get you registered right now. Caller number 7, 978-1077. Caller number 7. You're going to get registered to win a 2-year lease on a brand new vehicle from Tapper Ford or Tapper Chevy. Get those calls in now. 107.7 RKR. It's the Rocker Morning Show with Mark Frankhouse.
And Meatball.
I was really hoping we would finally get to see the return of Tenacious D to Kalamazoo. Mm-hmm. But Meatball, it does not appear that that's going to happen.
Yeah, some stuff happened in Australia, apparently.
Yeah, over the weekend, some things happened. I want to give you guys a heads up. I did reach out to the Wings Event Center to try to confirm that the show is canceled. We haven't heard anything back yet, so keep an eye on the Wings Event Center's Facebook and our Facebook as well. We'll give you the official confirmation actually on that 1077 RKR app. As soon as we find out, we'll send an app alert to you so you guys know, stay on top of it. I'm not going to say what was said, but let's just say Jack Black's Tenacious D musical partner Kyle Gass. It was the day before his birthday. Jack brought out a cake with candles, told him to make a wish, and the wish that he made was in incredibly bad taste. Hours after the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump, and it immediately caught Jack by surprise. He was not expecting what Kyle said to be said. And so yesterday he made an official announcement on his Instagram, basically saying that he does not stand for any kind of political violence whatsoever, no matter your party affiliation. He did not know the comments were going to be made. And so because they were made, and because of the social environment right now, Jack Black basically said, we're going to cancel the Tenacious D tour and we're pausing all projects. Mm-hmm. So he's completely stepping away from it, which makes a lot of sense because Jack Black's got way more to lose than Kyle Gass.
Yeah. And, Kyle's, he's reaping the repercussions for what he said too. His talent agent dropped him.
Yeah.
There's no direct comment as to anything that Jack has said to Kyle, and Kyle has since come out and apologized for what he said. It literally leaves me speechless because you gotta be responsible.
Well, and that's the thing. This is something to remember too, is that Kyle Gass is also an actor as well. Mm-hmm. He's been in tons of stuff. The Cable Guy. I believe he was in Elf as well.
Yeah.
He's been in a bunch of different movies, and this is going to impact his career too, but obviously Jack Black's on a completely different level. Yeah. He's got way more to lose. So Jack did the right thing, stepping away. Again, as Meatball pointed out, when we talked about this on Monday, we all need to just cool down a little bit, bring the temperature down a little bit because things are getting way too heated out there. Things are getting really ugly, and that's not cool, man. That's got no place, especially in rock and roll. This is rock and roll is what's bringing all of us together. It should never divide us. So, again, Jack Black says that they're stopping the tour, which is going to include Kalamazoo. However, we're still waiting to confirm with Wings Event Center and get the official word from their management as well. So as soon as we know something, we'll definitely send that alert out on the 1077 RKR app, and we'll update the article there as well. But as it seems for now, Tenacious D tour is canceled. They're not coming to Kalamazoo. We're also going to try to do something for those who won tickets with us. I was talking to my boss because she was super stoked about the D coming. Yeah. And we're going to try to work with Wings. We're going to try to get something together for those who won tickets with us because super bummer, super unfortunate, and who knows, may never see the D again.
Out of the deepest corners and the darkest ends of this world, from the Michigan Dogman to Bigfoot, the Melonheads of Allegan County, and people from Ohio. This is Weird Ass Wednesday.
There are still some places in certain countries that continue to live the simple life. Not a lot of, if any, electricity, still, living in handmade huts, handmade clothing, things of that nature. And some of these villages in these areas still use rudimentary tools to accomplish many of their tasks around town, like pummeling herbs and spices for food, smashing nuts, hammering nails, all that kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. The rural village of Huangbao in the Hubei province of China is one of these towns. They have some modern amenities, and they have highways that go by, and some electricity. But for the most part, its residents live pretty simply. A 90-year-old resident of the village one day, probably 20 years ago, discovered an item in a field they believed to be a lump of iron that was actually usefully shaped. So they decided to use it as a tool for exactly what I was mentioning above, most notably a hammer. Well, recently the building the person was living in was demolished. And when the building came down, this hunk of iron came rolling out. Except that's no hunk of iron. For 20 years, this rural Chinese villager had been using a live hand grenade as a pummel and a hammer.
Oh my gosh. How do you not get blown up?
For 20 years.
Oh my God.
The public, and it was active. It was not deactivated.
Right. It wasn't dead.
No. The Public Security Bureau of Baokent County was called and posted a video of the grenade's retrieval. And you know how like in the U.S., when we find a bomb or some kind of explosive device here, you know, they call the bomb squad and these dudes show up in these giant suits that walk like, you know, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man,
yes.
You know, they put it in a giant trailer and then blow it up and it's this whole big spectacle thing, right? In China, apparently, they use bubble wrap and Scotch tape.
Good Lord.
I'm pretty sure the dudes who picked it up were just wearing their normal clothes and a hard hat. But they literally, there's video of this, they picked it up, wrapped it like they were shipping it through FedEx. And then that's how they handled this live grenade that had been used for a hammer for 20 years. One person commented, this got posted to China's social media networks out there.
Yeah.
One person commented, praising the quality of the grenade since it hadn't exploded in 20 years after all that use. But that raises the question, is this a really well-made grenade that it didn't go off despite being used as a hammer every day?
Yeah.
Or was it really badly made since it didn't go off despite being used as a freaking hammer every day?
That is so dangerous. It makes, there was a story that actually came out of Michigan about how somebody had been using this rock as a doorstop for years, and it was actually a piece of a meteorite.
Oh my God. Well, I don't think the meteorite would explode if you used it as a hammer.
Luckily, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of explode, an explosion of flavor awaits you. You're welcome, Chris. At BC Pizza off West Main in Kalamazoo. Make sure to check BC Pizza out. Obviously, great pies tomorrow. They've got their buffet going on, and that's really where it's at, man. The cool thing about their buffet is I've been there before. You can literally go to the counter and just ask for a pizza and they'll just make it and they'll throw it into the buffet. Awesome. So you literally just get pizzas on demand like that. And they've got such a great staff over there. They're constantly doing great charity work across the city. So make sure to get into BC Pizza off West Main in Kalamazoo. They are our Weird Ass Wednesday sponsor.
1077 RKR, it is the Rocket Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
A piece of legendary Joe Louis Arena accoutrement is up for sale again. If you remember from 2017 when the Joe closed, there was the big bid on the Joe where people could buy lockers and doors and, you know, all kinds of stuff that was in the arena. One of the items that was sold at that time was Al the Octopus. I never got to see him in person. I got to see him during, like, you know, when the Red Wings were playing in the playoffs on TV. And, you know, they did the whole thing, they lower him from the ceiling and whatnot. Well, Al the Octopus sold in 2017 at auction for $7,000, a little over $7,000, $7,700.
Man.
Al the Octopus is up for sale again.
Let me guess. It's got to be at least like a 400% price hike.
Oh, it's massively high.
Ugh.
Let me give you the backstory on this first before I give you the price.
Okay.
So the gentleman that bought it, he goes by Garlic Bread TB on forums. Near as we can tell, they're living in Windsor. So Al the Octopus actually ended up in Canada, it sounds like. But Garlic Bread TV posted this on forums. He says, "This is a piece of hockey history in the Red Wings dynasty. Breaks my heart to sell, but I know it could be be put to good use somewhere at a sports bar or someone's storage garage for cars or other things in Michigan. Whoever, you know, big Detroit Red Wings fan. Every piece of Al is signed by Al Sabatka, the Zamboni driver and, keeper of the ice, basically, who is the namesake for Al the Octopus. He had planned on keeping it forever, but he had cancer years ago, and he's permanently beat it now, but some of the bills have caught up with him, and he needs to be debt-free in his life to move forward, so he's selling Al the Octopus.
Wow.
Still in good condition, still stored properly, and when you see the initial photos of it in the back of the moving truck, essentially, it is disassembled. So it's like the main body parts, and then half the tentacles basically are taken off. Which he said that's how they stored it, in Wings Events or in Wings Event Center at the show. Sorry, that's how they stored it in the off season and everything as it was. So, I mean, it is in the exact same condition that it was.
That's good
when it was hanging at the Joe. $30,000. It's a giant octopus that is a legend. It's a piece of history signed by the guy whose namesake it is. It's to pay off this dude's debt for beating cancer. Like, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna collect and own stuff like this, it's gonna be expensive. You had to know this is gonna be expensive. I thought $7,700 was cheap, for a giant octopus. So take it what you will. I still think it's expensive, but I don't think it's too expensive.
It just breaks my heart because it's completely out of my price range.
You think your partner's going to allow you to have like an 8-foot octopus in your house?
Yeah. I don't think Mary's going to.
We can put it on the building here.
I don't think Mary's going to appreciate when I have Al the Octopus dangling over the entrance. What the hell is that? Mary, I needed to put it somewhere. And here's the deal. It's our new mascot, Al the Octopus. By the way, I charged it to the company.
Yeah.
I needed it for reasons.
What's this $30,000 charge on the company credit card? And why does it say for Al? Don't worry about that. It's fine.